Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, whether you came to, you bumped into this channel by maybe someone shared the video on your platform or it is via the search, engine. I am so glad to have you. And I hope that the content that I put in here benefits somebody because I know that it is one of the things that help me to elevate on my path, to grow on my journey, and also to define what success really means for me. And what I'm talking about is an inner transformation. It is a work that all of us have to do. I grew up, I didn't have a very an easy childhood. And only when I was older and I started talking about my life that I realized that we all go through challenges. That's what life is about. It is when we go through challenges that we are made, characters are made. We even discover character traits that we didn't even know that we had. And those character traits can only come through adversity and things that challenge us to grow. And so, but I realized that also there is a process and there is a way of how we overcome. I know that we live in a time where of social media and Instagram where we only post our beautiful life, but and which is all well and good. But when you are going through not such a good time and all you see is people seem to be living a life of no issue and no trouble, then it could sometimes make one feel that maybe there's something wrong they're doing or there's something wrong with them. And so it was such liberating and it was such, even healing to find people who spoke about the process of going through and the process of how they made it on the other side. And which is what I aim to do with my channel, is that the kind of information that I put out there, the kind of things that I talk about, they talk about the inner man. Success is an inside job. For us to have a true and authentic and real success that is personal to who we are, because there's no way that all thousands or billions of us in the world we could define success as cars and houses and material things. There has to be an inner sense of achievement within us that could make us feel successful, and all the other things that are material could be a manifestation of how we feel on the inside. So what I wanted to speak about today is being anchored. We know that we are in lockdown if you're in South Africa, and also the whole world is going through a difficult time right now where we are forced to isolate and to recoup. We have been forced to be in our own space, something that we are not used to, because it is very easy when I know for myself that we become so busy pursuing. If it's not that thing, then it's having those relationships. If it's not that relationship, then we meet those kind of people. So our lives are constantly busy, and it does not allow us the luxury of to sit down and self-reflect. So the season that we are in right now on our nation, it forces us to reflect. And that's what I want to speak about, because for any breakthrough to happen in someone's life, there is a certain time or season of seclusion that we must go into voluntarily, and even right now that we are forced to go into seclusion. So I wanted to speak about it because we are forced into seclusion, all of us, and to make this time the best time of our lives and use it and see it as a blessing that it has afforded us a time where we can self-reflect. We can even measure even our relationship that we have within our homes, improve our communication, and go back to the ways that things used to be, where we would sit down together as families and be able to share stories and kind of know what's happening between each other. And so that's why I wanted to speak about anchoring, because that's one thing that I realize that has served me very well, in my path, for me to know where I'm anchored. How I came to know that I needed to be anchored and I was not anchored And to be anchored was such, an important element that was needed and that was missing on my success path or my success pursuit. So what would happen is, I would pursue my career ambitions, and I will, if I was an engineer, as I was an engineer, I would pursue that. I wanted to do that course so that I can, get a promotion and go to that level. And then when I get that, then I, think that, okay, so now let me work on this thing. And every time when, I've hit a role or a goal that I think that I want to attain, I would feel empty, like feeling like I thought that when I hit that goal I was going to feel good, but when I got to it, I realized that actually, I had a desire or an urge to look to go for something else, and I got tired. I got tired because, and I remember that when I started to feel like that, I was on maternity leave. I just had my son, and I was just at home for 3 months, and I realized that I was just empty. When I went back to work, I realized that it was like the walls are closing in on me. I realized that, something that was missing in me is something that is purpose. I needed purpose. But, that aside, another thing that really came to me as I, continued to question, because, purpose was one of the things, and then I get into network marketing and I started doing this thing, and I still wasn't, fulfilled. And until it clicked on me. So picture this. This is how I saw this in my head. We as human beings, we tend to grab and try to attain and try to, we're always reaching, we're always wanting, because we always think that the next thing I'm going to get is going to make me feel good. The next thing I'm going to, get, the money, this amount of money that I'm going to get is going to make me happy. That thing, if I get it, I'm going to be happy. But you realize that you are not happy. And another thing that happens is because you are not anchored, and I hope that I will be able to explain this the way that I know it, the way that I've seen it happen in my own life, is that if you are constantly reaching, you get to be out of alignment. Because life is about balance, right? You may focus on your health, and you start exercising, you start eating right, and then you realize, oh my god, I have neglected my family there. And then now you take some time and you want to spend your time with your family. So you constantly not only reaching but being pulled in different direction, because our lives, we have different elements and different facets in our lives. We have our health, our finance, our families, our relationships, our career, even our entrepreneurial journey. And if we are not anchored, we find ourselves reaching but also being pulled in this different direction. And one thing that helped me on my path and on my journey is to find an anchor. And the importance of an anchor was, I'm centered. So my pursuit of anything else, it does not drag me away from my core. And what is my anchor? My anchor is that I'm a child of God. My anchor is that, I'm a kingdom woman and I'm raising godly children. So it defines my pursuit in different things. So as it defined my pursuit in different things, it makes me grounded. And so much that all these different pursuits that I have, because we all have pursuit, right? It does not take me away from who I am. At the end of it all, and so much that if all of it is taken away, what am I left with? If I lose the car and I lose the house and I lose the kids, or I lose anything in my life, what is it that I have that I'm grounded in? And that's the anchor that I'm talking about. And my anchor is God. That my identity, who I am, my self-identity, and who is first in my life, and who is an anchor, and who is the center of anything and informs how I do anything else in my own life. It is my identity, which is in Christ. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope I was able to articulate this the way that I wanted to, and the way that I know it, and the way that I feel it. And if I did, please just leave me a comment there on below, and just use this time, of isolation as finding your anchor, if it makes sense, because there's so many messages, and if you find a message that resonates with you, you know, inquire more, because when we seek we find, and when we ask our door is open. And so I just wanted to come in and you know, and speak about that on today's episode. And I hope that it's going to strike a nerve, and you're going to use this time as productively as possible, and that you're going to realize, because we all need an anchor, especially in times like this, when, you know, our experts are running out of answers, that when all has been said and done, the anchor is in God, is in Christ, and it is as important as any pursuit that you do, because it defines who we are. And so I will see you on my next video, and take care.